What is going on, TU crew, and welcome to another episode of the Totally Unqualified Podcast. We are up to episode 53 now.
Yeah.
We've had guests on for like a string of a few episodes now. This time it's just gonna be us. Good old fashioned, just the boys kicking it.
Classic.
And speaking of, how we doing, boys? Jake, Luke, how we feeling?
I'm kind of pissed, to be honest with you, because I never order food in. Like, I don't DoorDash. I think it's such a waste of money. I don't do it. But tonight I was just spent. I had 4 classes all back to back and I was dead. I was like, you know what, whatever. I even found a deal. So I found a deal. It was $10 off. This place I never heard of, but it was 4 stars on DoorDash. I was like, whatever. I love fried chicken sandwiches, and we get a fried chicken sandwich from them.
Mm-hmm.
It was literally a chicken place. Like, that's what they did. They did chicken.
Yeah.
So my girlfriend, she gets the same thing. And we can't handle spice. I'll admit it. I'm the biggest pussy when it comes to spice. I can't do it. No spicy foods for me. I can't do it. So we order classic chicken sandwiches. I get it. She bites into hers, spicy, and I'm like, fuck. All right, they just gave you the wrong sandwich. Oh man, that sucks. I bite into mine, spicy. How the fuck do you mess up not one but 2 chicken sandwiches in one order?
Did you finish them?
First of all, it sucked because the bun was crumbling. There was basically no bottom bun by the time I got halfway through the sandwich because it was literally falling off.
Uh-huh.
I never leave reviews on places. I am not a Karen whatsoever. I always give people the benefit of the doubt because my job over the summer is in customer service. So I get it. I completely understand that people can be assholes sometimes. So I always give people the benefit of the doubt. It is so hard to piss me off. This place pissed me off. I had a long day. You could have given me the most average chicken sandwich in the world, and I would have been fine with it. Like, I would have been happy as a clam. But you had to give me literally the worst experience with a chicken sandwich I've ever had in my entire life. I had to give them a
name drop
star.
them. What's the name of the restaurant?
I'll do it. Pretty Fried in State College. Okay. Do not go to them. Pretty Fried in State College. I get the pun. It sucks. Yeah, no, it sucks. Do not go there. I literally wrote in the review. I was like, I do not leave reviews, but this place literally sucks. Do not get there.
Wow.
So other than that, my day's been great though. Just to answer your question.
I'm not doing as bad as Jake is. I'm ready to go. Let's do it.
All right, cool. Yeah. I'm doing pretty well also. I feel totally rested. For those listening, I may have overslept getting to this today, but it's fine. We'll get right into it. It'll be like it never happened. And as you guys know, before we start, if you are listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, if you would leave a rate and review, we would very much appreciate it. And if you're watching on YouTube, drop a like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Ring the notification bell because we've got stuff coming out pretty much constantly. So thank you guys so much for your support. And then before we get into our actual topics, we of course have to do Guess That Player. Luke is still in the lead, I believe, with 3 now.
Oh yeah.
I think Jake, are tied.
Do we
so
have,
Jake has an
have we decided on like a winner or loser thing that we have to do for this?
We haven't, but I think that we probably need to. Or
We
maybe
should.
have
We'll come up with something.
maybe have like the community decide or something.
Yeah.
Like if you're in the Discord, maybe we'll put out a poll. If you're not in the Discord, you're living life the wrong way. It's at the link in any of our bios. I highly recommend that. But yeah, we'll have to figure something out for sure.
Yeah, because I feel like we got to make we got to up the pressure a little bit. We got to make there a reason to not come in last.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm with that.
Yeah.
I'm with that.
I'm down.
All right.
And I'm in the lead, so of course I'm with that.
Yeah, you're not far behind, bud. I wouldn't.
We'll see after this.
The Warriors were in the lead too. That didn't go so well.
Ooh.
Packers
and
were too.
you have the chance to extend your lead here. Jake has the chance to tie it up. So whenever you guys are ready, you can start asking me the questions.
I'm ready. I'm born ready, dude. Born ready.
All right.
No, I think I'll wait. I think
Give Luke a good 7.32 seconds and he'll be ready to go.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Let's go. Currently playing?
Yes.
I feel like it's always gonna be like that.
And it is NFL, of course.
All right. Damn it. I was going to rugby. AFC or NFC?
AFC.
Okay.
Were they drafted in the last?
I'll say this: currently on an AFC team and known primarily for an AFC team, but those two teams are not the same team.
Okay.
If that made any sense.
Okay.
Wait, can you repeat that? Sorry.
Yeah. So
it's Melvin Ingram.
They're primarily
Damn
known
it.
for an AFC team.
Yeah.
But the AFC team they're on right now is not the same one that they're known for.
The same
Fuck. I thought I had that. I thought I had that in the
Were they in the playoffs?
That guess.
Were they in the playoffs?
They were not in the playoffs.
At all. Not in the playoffs at all.
Nope.
Oh shit. That makes it harder. Primarily known for an AFC team.
Were they on a
depends.
team that won the Super Bowl since 2010?
Since 2010?
Yeah.
Oh, it's Calais Campbell.
Yeah, actually. Yes.
Oh, wait, did I get that right?
Not Calais Campbell.
Oh,
Sorry, I was answering.
Damn it.
Question. Yeah, not Calais Campbell.
No.
Because I was gonna say it depends whether you think of
so it has to be
Cardinals or Jaguars.
So who are the AFC teams? The Chiefs, the Broncos.
They're all in the
Patriots.
Broncos aren't in the playoffs.
Oh my god!
But you got to think of players. You got how many teams have they been on?
3.
Damn it! And it's not Melvin Ingram. Fuck.
It's not Melvin Ingram.
Okay, so they have to be on the Ravens, 100%.
Currently, no.
Oh, what?
Oh, but they were on the Ravens. That's a yes. Shit. Oh, offense or defense?
Offense.
Oh, shit.
Skill position?
Interesting.
It is a skill position.
Latavius Murray.
Nope.
Do they play in the...
No, not Devontae.
Did they play in the AFC South?
No.
What?
AFC East?
No. Or yeah, currently.
Okay. So
left.
Dolphins or the Jets? And they were on a Super Bowl team.
And they were on a Super Bowl team since 2010.
Yes.
CJ Mosley?
No.
I feel like I just did.
Was it the Ravens that they were on when they won the Super Bowl?
Yes.
Okay. Shit. So they had to be young. They had to be a young player, and it's an offensive player. Is it Joe Flacco?
It is Joe Flacco.
Oh,
I fucking said CJ Mosley like we didn't know he was an offensive player. What the fuck am I doing? God damn.
I was like, it can't be Joe. Like, that's too obvious, Joe Flacco. But wow. All right, Joe Flacco. Give him some credit.
Nah. No credit for Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco was in the conversation for like elite quarterback at one point.
It was always that conversation. Is Joe Flacco
Burrow.
elite? Yeah, that too.
Because he went on like one of the greatest because like during that time, like Joe Flacco had like a 3-year playoff stretch of like he was like good in the regular season, and he was like you could make an argument he was the best postseason quarterback when he got the playoffs. Like he was just like unstoppable in the playoffs.
100 peach.
And I don't think I've seen anybody fall because like Joe Flacco's not old. Like what is he? 30?
He's definitely old now. Yeah,
he was drafted in 2008. So I mean,
so
he's up there with like Matt Ryan.
36. Yeah,
but he got cut from the Ravens in 2017. What was Lamar?
19. It was 2019.
19. Okay, so it's 3 years ago.
2019 is the year that he joined the Broncos, and then he's been with the Jets the past 2 seasons.
Okay, so he was like what, 33, 34 when he left the Ravens?
Yeah, about that. I'm not saying his age here, but yeah, probably so.
So that's not an age where a quarterback should just fall off a cliff. Like that's an age where a quarterback should still be in their prime. So that's kind of weird.
I guess he was never elite.
That honestly, yeah.
Definitely
I mean,
never elite.
But he got the Super Bowl. That's a lot.
Hey,
more.
The Jets have a Super Bowl MVP quarterback.
They do. They do.
Yeah. That's just crazy to me. Oh man.
We're about to have another one.
Oh yeah?
Never.
Are they?
Never.
All right. We're gonna go ahead and move on to something that I am absolutely dreading talking about, but it needs to be talked about.
Man.
Sean Payton has decided to step away from coaching. He will no longer be the coach of the Saints. There's been a lot of speculation today as to what he does from here, but he made it pretty clear, I feel like, that he is not looking to go coach another team. he's just stepping away from coaching as a whole. So, Jake, I'll let you go ahead and start it out and just kind of give your opinion on this whole situation and where the Saints go from here.
Hold on. I just want to. Is it going to play? Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Just let's take a moment for Gage here. Okay, thank you. Yeah, just I felt so terrible. All I saw was Luke's message in the group chat. I didn't even see the Luke saying he was so sorry for you, Gage, and I scrolled up and I was like, oh no, it was bad. Yeah, Sean Payton. This is something I don't know. Was there any inkling that this could happen? I don't think so.
There were rumors like rambling the last week or so, but
nothing recently because he hadn't said that he was coming back or whatever just yet. Like he hadn't committed to coming back, and it's happened before. We've had those times where it's like, okay, he's kind of coming up on his contract, like maybe he'll leave or something like that. But it's happened so many times before that I was just like, no, it's like it'll be fine. It's just another one of those things. And he was just like, nah.
That's probably what's going to happen with Russell Wilson because that's at this point that's been going on for the last 4 off seasons, whether he's going to be traded or not.
On me.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm somebody that didn't expect this to happen. I think a lot of the NFL world was shocked over this. It sucks. I mean, it sucks for the Saints. He's a Hall of Fame coach. I don't think there's any doubt about that. One of the greatest offensive minds this game has ever seen. I also don't have a doubt in my mind that he'll be back. I feel like I don't know. I just have a feeling that this is a little bit of a break. I think he'll be back.
That
I feel
that TV money might be crazy.
The TV money is impressive, but there's some coaches that just need that itch to win. Like money is one thing, but at that point they got plenty of money. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but seriously, Sean Payton would be an awesome mind to get on any broadcast. So I'm sure stations are jumping at the opportunity to hire him right now. But it sucks for the Saints. I will say, I know I texted Gage and you guys about this, that I mean, Dennis Allen seems like, he's got to be the favorite for this, right? Like promote from within. That doesn't really happen anymore, but I feel like this would be a situation where he's been in so many head coaching talks for how many years now, and he's not gotten any jobs. But I feel like this would be the perfect opportunity for him to step in. It seems like the team loves Dennis Allen. And I honestly think aside from the offense, the team probably wouldn't miss a stride. Obviously it sucks not having your offensive genius who can make Taysom Hill look good, but that's you're going to have to deal with that. But this is really tragic for the Saints because the Saints literally have a Super Bowl caliber roster if they had a better quarterback. Their defense is great. The offensive line is tremendous. The wide receivers are pretty good. The running backs are great. And it just sucks that they never got to go to another Super Bowl with under Sean Payton. But listen, Saints fans, I feel like the hardest thing about this is that it's such an unknown right now, what's going to happen. But I'm sure they'll land on their feet. I'm sure the Saints are going to take it in stride. And I think Dennis Allen's got to be the shoo-in for this, but I'm pretty sure it's probably the most attractive job in the NFL right now. That's for sure.
Yeah. I hope Dennis Allen gets the job. He definitely deserves. I don't know why he hasn't been signed as a head coach yet. He's been so good for so long, but I think it's fitting that he is going to be the front runner to get this job. Yeah. I think Sean Payton's probably going to go into TV, most definitely be a broadcaster, an analyst, what have you. Taysom Hill. What do you do with Taysom Hill now? Genuinely, what do you do?
Yeah.
If there was one person and one person only that could make Taysom Hill work, and that was Sean Payton, and maybe Dennis Allen, or if he gets hired, maybe he'll be able to figure out some sort of role for him. But I think Taysom Hill's effectively done.
What if I said this? What if I said this? Taysom Hill on the Chiefs.
I mean,
does that scare you? Does that scare you a little bit? It doesn't?
No, who scares me though is just the Chiefs. Yeah. I mean, put fucking anybody on the Chiefs. Put me on the Chiefs.
That's fair.
I'll win you a Super Bowl. It kind of just came out of nowhere. I mean, shit, if I heard Kevin James was about to play me in a Netflix series, I'd be out of there too. I'd be on my couch ready to leave. Why is Kevin James the guy to do that? It doesn't, whatever. That's like him. Yeah, that's neither here nor there. Yeah, it's kind of just came out of nowhere. And I just want to give a quick shout out to the Los Angeles Rams and say, fuck the Los Angeles Rams, because we could have seen one last hurrah with Sean Payton. And we also wouldn't have had a team in the playoffs that we'll get to later. But yeah, incredible career if this is it. I wouldn't be surprised if he comes back, in a few years. Obviously, most likely wouldn't be the Saints head coach anymore. But yeah, incredible offensive mind. I do want to say though, and Gage, you could debate me about this. Sean Payton, I've been seeing a lot of heat on Twitter that he is a Hall of Famer. Sean Payton is not a Hall of Famer. Sean Payton is not a Hall of Fame coach.
What?
Sean Payton is not a Hall of Fame coach.
Yes, he is.
Sean Payton's not a Hall of Fame coach.
Give me a reason.
Why?
He's got the wins. He's got the Super Bowl.
21st in head coaching wins and 1 Super Bowl, plus Bounty Gate. I don't know if he's one of the top.
Bounty Gate was who was the defensive coordinator? Who was that? That was Greg, whatever.
He was the one. He was the one that got suspended for that, though. He was the one.
Well, yeah, he's the head coach. But are you gonna say Bill Belichick's not a Hall of Famer now? Because he had all those scandals?
No, but Bill Belichick is the greatest coach of all time.
But okay. Now you're getting me into my Barry's Bonds situation.
No,
now you're getting me into baseball.
Listen,
right now.
three 7-9 back-to-back seasons. I don't think one of the
most productive offenses in the league with a shitty ass defense.
Terrible.
Drew Brees threw for over 5,000 yards with fucking nobody. This is why I said this, because I wanted defense this. Fucking sold.
I needed Gage to wake up a little bit. No, I don't. I saw some takes that he's just a worse version of Mike McCarthy, which I don't agree with.
What? A worse version?
Yeah.
Worse?
Yeah.
Excuse me?
I saw Fanalize say that on Twitter that he said he's a slightly better version of Mike McCarthy.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say worse is
I don't necessarily think either of them are Hall of Famers. Definitely not fucking Mike McCarthy.
No, Mike McCarthy is not. But Sean Payton, I think, is probably not first ballot, but I believe he's a Hall of Fame head coach. He built some of the most productive offenses of all time. Look at the most passing yards in NFL history. Drew Brees is it 7 times, right?
I don't know. Yeah. All I'm saying is, I will say his and Mike McCarthy's careers are pretty similar, but I think, I don't know. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say.
So would you say that part of that has to do with having Drew Brees? You think it kind of takes away from his legacy almost?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I don't know. When you think of the greatest head coaches of all time, I think you think of more than just 1 Super Bowl. Granted, they should have been 2, but once again, fuck the Los Angeles Rams. I don't know.
But then again, name a head coach that in the Hall of Fame that didn't have a great quarterback. Name one.
That's fair.
Yeah.
You can't.
That's fair.
You can't.
Team effort.
You could say Bill Parcells, but Phil Simms was a great quarterback. He was in the Pro Bowl. He was he's an All-Pro. He arguably might be a Hall of Famer. There were just a bunch of he is in the conversation. But
15-year career, only 4 seasons under 500.
Yeah. I think he is. I think he's
100%.
I think he is honestly the greatest offensive mind this game has ever seen. He was Sean
McVay before Sean McVay.
He was. Honestly, the shit that Sean McVay, the thing that Sean Payton could do with nothing, the offense that I'm not going to say the defense, the offense that he could create with nothing is honestly what just baffles me to this day. He was one of those coaches that you could just plug anybody in and you're going to have 1,000-yard receiver. Just easy. It was, it's really insane. It's really insane. The shit he was, it feels like he was always 2 steps ahead of anybody in terms of just offensive, ideas. Taysom Hill, that was not a thing. Who the fuck,
still shouldn't be a thing.
Who picked up this 25-year-old washed up ass BYU quarterback that was injured all 5 years of his college career and was able to make him one of the most feared pieces in the NFL?
I actually hold Taysom Hill against Sean Payton because I feel like Sean Payton has gotten to a point where he's just trying to shove that down defense's throats and just try and make it seem. I feel like Taysom Hill has become more of an ego thing for Sean Payton, where he feels like this has to work.
But I feel like it does work. I feel like he's the only person that's been able to make it work, because the Ravens brought in Lamar Jackson and tried to do the same shit and it didn't work. So they got rid of Joe Flacco. The Raiders have tried to do the same thing with Marcus Mariota this season, and it hasn't been anywhere close to as productive. I feel like a lot of other teams have tried to do similar things and haven't been able to make it work because they don't scheme it well enough.
I feel like it's definitely fallen off. Taysom Hill's production has fallen off quite a bit. I'd say the past year, maybe even 2 seasons. I don't know.
I would agree. But I would also say, like, he got Drew Brees to an NFC Championship game where, like, Drew Brees was not the Drew Brees of old. Like, Drew Brees could not, like, for like a good 5 years.
That Drew Brees from a couple years ago. He was MVP. He was like top 2, top 3 with Patrick Mahomes.
Yes, but he couldn't throw downfield. Drew Brees was
one of his best seasons.
Exactly. Because Sean Payton was able to, like, take away the deep ball and still have one of the best offenses in the NFL. Because imagine having an explosive offense with no deep ball. How do you create? Yeah. Sean Payton did that. How over 25, Drew Brees could throw like 30 yards. That's it. That's all you're getting at Drew Brees.
Alvin
Maybe
Kamara's
35 on a good day.
Alvin Kamara too. Perfect player for him.
Alvin Kamara was a 5th round pick and just 5th round pick out of nowhere.
Nobody didn't fucking want him. I didn't want him. We had just gotten Adrian Peterson in that offseason, and I was like, why the hell are we drafting another running back? And I hated that pick. And then we get rid of Adrian Peterson through just a few games into the season or something like that. And Alvin Kamara goes off. And that's because of Sean Payton scouting. Yeah. Not our scouts checking him out and being like, oh yeah, that guy looks good. No, Sean Payton was like, this guy out of Tennessee is a fucking guy, and picked him up. So I don't know. I just maybe it's the bias.
Has he ever made a bad pick on offense? Like, legitimately. Like, think of all the picks he's made on offense. Like, offensive line, all hits. They've all hit. Michael Thomas was a great
Cesar Ruiz. How's Cesar Ruiz doing?
This season has been his worst season. I mean, out of
he's only been in two.
Yeah, he definitely had a down season this year. A lot of fans are not happy with his production, but I'm willing to give him a little bit more time, because I mean, if you consider how many injuries and shit we had this season as a whole, I mean, he didn't have the rest of his O line to help him out either, really, and both of our starting tackles were out a lot of the year, so. And
chemistry is a big thing. Chemistry is a huge thing when it comes to the offensive line. Like, you need to know that the guy next to you knows what to do when, like, what you're thinking without saying it. Like, that's what chemistry is really important with that. Yeah. But I think and let's move on from this topic, but I think Sean Payton is absolutely a Hall of Fame head coach.
Yeah. I guess we're going to see pretty soon.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what you guys are saying. I think that Dennis Allen 100% should be the guy to get the job. Maybe they'll bring in a couple other guys just to interview or whatever, just for the sake of, due diligence. But I think that Dennis Allen should be the guy. I've been worried all year, or as we come up on the offseason, that he was going to get a job elsewhere. So I guess if there was a time for Sean Payton to go, now would kind of be it. My biggest concern is just the cap stuff. Like, I mean, when we're negative $74 million in cap, like,
I feel like that's one of the reasons he wanted to leave too.
Sean Payton. 100%. We're like right on the verge of, if we don't do this the right way, we are in a rebuild. And I don't think he wants to go through that, especially not having Drew Brees there.
Yeah.
I wonder. This is just, I'm just throwing this out there. Peyton Manning grew up in New Orleans. His dad played for the Saints. That's his home.
Peyton Manning to the Saints.
Peyton Manning, I think we all know, is going to be a coach at one point in his life. Like, he's just too good.
I don't think so. I think
I
think he's going to be a media guy.
He's content doing the things that he's doing.
I know I know he's like really content with what he's doing now, but like, that situation could lure him, be like, damn, like, that's my home. That's where my dad played. I grew up with the Saints. Like, shit. Like, that's my home right there.
Earlier, Drew Brees coming back and coaching.
Maybe.
And, like, I think he'd be good. I think that he would definitely be good at it, but I feel like he's kind of content doing what he's doing right now too. And doesn't want to get right back into football.
I guess we'll see.
All I'm saying is, it's that attractive of a situation that I think that could be the only job in all of football that could lure, like, Peyton Manning out of retirement to, like, be a head coach.
Maybe. We'll just have to see how it goes.
That's
I mean, I think
that's just like a
Dennis
hot
Allen,
take by me.
I think that Dennis Allen should get promoted, but
Yeah.
I would also like to see us interview some other guys like Brian Flores. I mean, there's big names on the market. We might as well just bring them in and see what they offer.
Yeah.
But I'll cry about that later. Moving on, we are going to get into, of course, all of the divisional games. And we had just a crazy weekend of football, guys. Luke, I'm going to start with you, and we're going to rip this Band-Aid off pretty quick here as the 49ers defeated the Packers this weekend. And you were there in person. If you would like us, or if you'd like to just kind of walk us through that situation and what it was like being there and kind of the stadium's reaction.
I've never been at such a high point in my life just for it to go so bad so quickly.
It's not true. That's not true. The 2014
fuck you, Jake.
That was 6 minutes of just, but I digress. Go ahead.
That was one of the best experiences of my life, going to Lambeau, by the way. It was outstanding there. It was awesome, except for leaving the stadium after the playoff game. I was stuck at Lambeau for literally an hour and a half because it was blizzarding out and it was a whole shit show. Anyways, this game sucked. It was so bad. It was so bad. The stadium was awesome. The crowd was awesome. Everybody surrounding me. There was actually a problem in the first quarter where I couldn't watch like the first or maybe like 4 minutes of the game because every person in a row was in the wrong row. We were all a row up. Everybody. I was in the wrong person's seat. The person in front of me was in the wrong row. They had to go down. It's because the way it's labeled on the bleachers and on the stairs. It's like I was in row 34 or something, and it's labeled on the stair. So you think that stair is where you're supposed to go in, but it's the seats that are the rows, which is just so if that makes sense. So I went down. Yeah. So that was annoying. As for the game, the 49ers just shut everything down for the Packers. The run game couldn't get anything done. Aaron Jones was so ineffective, and he was effective through the air, but AJ Dillon getting hurt, I think, really just screwed up their whole game plan because you started seeing Aaron Jones being the one to do these halfback dives, and he wasn't getting any yards in the first quarter, and of course he wasn't getting any yards in the second half, and they were just too afraid to give the ball to Patrick Taylor. I would be too. This is gonna hurt me to talk about, but I'm ready for the Aaron Rodgers era to be over in Green Bay.
Oh, damn,
I'm done. That was, other than like week 1 this year against the Saints, that might have been the most disappointing loss of Aaron Rodgers' career. I genuinely think that it'll affect his legacy. This might be his worst playoff loss. And I know we've had plenty of terrible ones, but this is probably his worst because you can't be the number 1 seed. You can't say, oh, we need to get home field advantage. You're the number 1 seed. You got home field advantage in Lambeau, what you asked for. This year, there's a packed stadium. There's not like 8,000 whatever fans. It's snowing. It's literally Lambeau weather. This is what you asked for. You asked for Randall Cobb in the offseason. You held the team hostage and you target him one time in the game. Granted, he was coming off an injury. They gave this man everything he asked for, and he did not produce. And I get he was 20 of 29 for like 239 yards. He didn't play terrible, right? It wasn't his worst game, but the fact that you didn't score a touchdown, it's incredible. It was incredible. Like credit to Kyle Shanahan because it was a masterclass by him. Although they probably don't win if they don't fucking it brings me to the special teams. If they don't block the fucking punt, it's crazy because we talked about it earlier.
The only touchdown they scored.
The only one. We talked about it earlier in the year. Gage, I think it was you that brought it up. Like this team, like the special teams could cost you in the playoffs. And I didn't want to believe it. I'm like, special teams, who gives a shit? It's offense, defense. They absolutely did. Obviously wasn't all special teams. If I had to like divvy up the percentage of blame, I'd put 75% on Rodgers because score more than 10 points at home. You're the number 1 seed. It's the perfect conditions. There's no excuse. He was so Devontae dependent. It's ridiculous. Other than Aaron Jones and Devontae Adams, he threw 4 balls to other people. Four. It's crazy. I'm hating the way he's been playing. I think it's done. I think the Aaron Rodgers era is done. I made a video afterwards that kind of like blew up, saying that I thought that was the last game that Devontae and Aaron are ever going to play. I think I'm flip flopping every single day. I think he's going to come back. I think they're eventually going to work something out. And it's going to be much to my chagrin because I'm ready, full on ready for the Jordan Love era to start. If the result is going to be the same thing with Jordan Love as the quarterback and Aaron Rodgers, if the result is going to be heartbreak, you give the job to the guy that's making $40 million less. That's what I think. You get out of this cap hell, you get a shit ton of draft picks, and you start build around this defense. The defense has never played a better game. Every excuse about Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs has been, his defense gave up 51 points to the Cardinals in 2009. His defense let him down. Every single year it's been the defense. It was a masterclass by Rashawn Gary and Adrian Amos and the whole defense as a whole. I'm ready for the era to be over, and that's sad to say.
Yeah, I think without a doubt, the AJ Dillon loss was what made the game what it was. I was immediately reminded of the situation the game was in, of the Titans-Packers game in the snow. Was that last year? I think last year. One of the last games of the season, I believe. And AJ Dillon went off. That was AJ Dillon's coming out party as a rookie. And that's just what he can do with you. That's what he can do. That's why you draft a guy like that, because when the weather conditions aren't all conducive for, happy throw by Aaron Rodgers, like, you're going to have to run the ball. You're going to have to pound it. You're going to have to, guess what? Tackling a guy like AJ Dillon in the cold fucking hurts. So you can wear down a defense even quicker in those kind of conditions. So I think this is a totally different ball game if AJ Dillon is healthy, and we saw that with the drive where he got the touchdown. And it sucks that you guys had to lose a player like that. But then again, on the flip side, like, your offense shouldn't be reliant on only one player like that. It's too good of an offense. And it sucks. I wanted the Packers to go to the NFC Championship game. I don't want to watch the Niners. I don't watch the Niners, who couldn't score a touchdown against
the Niners and the Rams.
Yeah, they couldn't score. They couldn't score an offensive touchdown against the Packers with that defense. You think with the Rams defense they're going to be able to score one? No. Like, I don't care that they beat the Rams twice in the regular season. Like, this is a different Niners team, and this is a different Rams team. This Niners team is going downhill quick. I like, it seems like every player on their offense is banged up. And the Rams are just cooking right now. Like, I think the entire football world knows that the Niners should not be in the NFC Championship game. Like, they are not a good enough team to be in the NFC Championship game. They got great players. They got Nick Bosa. That defensive line is scary. The linebackers are great. But like, Jimmy Garoppolo has been playing terrible.
You guys know that Sesame Street song that's like, one of these things just doesn't belong here? Yeah. That's looking at Jimmy Garoppolo compared to the rest of the quarterbacks that are still in the playoffs.
Exactly.
What are we doing?
Exactly. It sucks. Like, it's going to be the worst. Like, I honestly hope, I don't even hope for a good game. I hope the Rams blow them the fuck out. Cause number one, I'm biased because I hate, the 49ers. Like, I hate the Rams too, but like, I hate the Niners. Like, I hate the Niners with a burning passion. So like, that would be the team I want to see get their ass kicked. And I just do not want them to. Do not give me a Jimmy Garoppolo Super Bowl again. I cannot get through that again. Because Jimmy Garoppolo, at least in that Super Bowl, was like playing pretty, like, he was playing okay. Like, he was playing pretty good. Like, nothing crazy, but he was playing like way better than he's playing right now. He's playing like shit right now. And I just can't get through that again. So I hope to dear God that just doesn't happen. But yeah, that's why you play the games. That's the number one thing. That's why you got to play the games. Anything can happen in the playoffs. It's a whole new season. Games are won on the field, not on paper. So it sucks. As for the Aaron Rodgers thing, Luke, for your sake, I hope it's not over. I
do. Yeah, I think for my sake, I hope it's over.
All right. Because
I'm sick of the drama.
Would it be? I feel like these last couple of years have hurt Aaron Rodgers' legacy, because I feel like he did always come in clutch in the playoffs because his defense was always so bad. Like, I'm instantly reminded of the Cardinals game in the playoffs, the Cowboys game in the playoff. Like, he's had so many amazing playoff games, but these last couple of years, it's like, dude, like, where the fuck have you been? Where have you been? It's like, you were supposed to outduel Tom Brady last year. You did not. You did not. So it sucks that this is going to hurt his legacy, that this is, going to be fresh on people's minds, because he's so much of a better quarterback. I don't want people to remember Aaron Rodgers as a guy that choked in the playoffs, because he didn't in his prime. He did not. It's just that I have no idea what's gotten into him the last couple of years. Maybe it's age, maybe it's just him not caring, but I just don't know.
And it's like Luke said, like, he didn't even play bad per se.
Yeah,
like he played a decent game, but when you are held to the regard that Aaron Rodgers is held to, when you are supposed to be one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever do it, when you are potentially about to win your 4th MVP award, you should be playing a hell of a lot better in the playoffs than what he has as of recently. Yeah. And it sucks to say that, but it's just the fact of the matter. And it felt like he was trying to force the ball to Devontae to try and make something happen. And it wasn't happening.
Yeah.
As far as like the 49ers, I want to give a quick shout out to Robbie Gould, because I feel like he doesn't get enough credit as a kicker. He's never missed a kick in the playoffs. I think if I remember the stat correctly, he's 20 for 20 on field goals and 36 for 36 on extra points. Like, Justin Tucker, obviously best kicker in the league, potentially best kicker of all time by the time this guy is out of the league. Robbie Gould, he's up there. Like, he's been one of the better kickers in the league for quite a while now.
He's never missed a kick in the playoffs in his career.
Yeah, never missed one clutch. As far as the 49ers as a whole, like, I just wonder what Kyle Shanahan could do with like a legitimate, like, not that he doesn't have a legitimate team now, but I mean, you put like a one of these guys, if he would have gotten Matt Stafford in the offseason, could you imagine how different things would look right now if Matt Stafford didn't go to the Rams?
Yeah,
it'd be pretty wild. And that secondary is tough. They have like $11 million going into the offseason as far as cap space goes. So I think if they aim to fix that secondary, I don't really think the 49ers are going anywhere for a while, whether they get rid of Jimmy G or not.
I feel like it's Trey Lance dependent, but Kyle Shanahan proved to me in this game that he's the best coach in the game right now, because of what he's been able to do without a quarterback. Every single team that's in the playoffs now, you look at their quarterback situation, and I mean, look at the Final Four. Matthew Stafford having his best year as a pro. Joe Burrow has been outstanding. He's been phenomenal. And Patrick Mahomes, obviously one of the best, if not the best in the game. I think Kyle Shanahan should be held in a different regard. Just 2 quick points. Jimmy Garoppolo is now 2-0 against Aaron Rodgers, posting these stats.
Ridiculous.
6 of 8 for 77 yards in the 2019 NFC Championship. And 11 of 19 for 131 yards and 1 interception with a 57.1 passer rating. And I can't pull up his quarterback rating right now, but I believe it was 18, which is one of the worst in a playoff game of all time.
That's unreal.
Insane.
That's unreal.
Just goes to show how good that team is and how good Kyle Shanahan is at scheming things up.
Yeah, and but the thing, Aaron Rodgers is in the fucking playoffs.
Yeah.
Now I'm
the
mad.
Thing about,
now I'm mad.
The thing about the Niners is, like, when you have, like, it's supposed to be the best quarterbacks in the Final Four. Like, it's like the NFC Championship, AFC Championship games. This is like it just makes sense that you would have the best quarterbacks. That's how it's historically always been. The times you've seen like what is that guy doing there? The times you've seen that is when they have all-time defenses. Those are the times, like the 2000 Ravens, they had Trent Dilfer, but they had one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. That's why they were there. I mean, you look at the Eagles a couple of years ago, they had, again, a terrific defense. 2015, the Broncos, Peyton Manning was, I don't care. Peyton Manning was one of the worst quarterbacks of all time.
Yeah, he was horrible.
In a Super Bowl. He was horrible that year. And they had one of the best, like, that's the only time a team should make it that far and make it to the Super Bowl with that. Like, what are the 49ers special at? Like, they're good at things. Running the ball. They're special at running the ball, and that's it. And just like, and he lost Raheem Mostert. Like, Kyle Shanahan was like, that's okay. I'll plug Deebo Samuel in and he'll get the same production. Like, what? Who does that? Who says that? Like, without skipping a beat. Like, honestly, I'm surprised that Kyle Shanahan hasn't gotten his hands on Cordell Patterson yet, because that would be special, what he could do with him.
Could you imagine?
Oh, my God.
He's basically got him, though. Deebo.
Yeah, I guess.
He's got a better version.
Already got
Deebo's better. Deebo is better.
Yeah.
But yeah, and all I'm saying, as much as I'm shitting on the Niners, just because I'm pointing to how much of a good job Kyle Shanahan has done to coach his team to this point, because that's unreal. By the way, I want to shout out Robbie Gould. I know you can see him there. Penn Stater. legend,
Okay.
one of the greatest playoff kickers of all time. I gotta shout out my Penn Staters when they come up. So shout out Robbie Gould.
Yeah, the last thing I want to circle back to is Kyle Shanahan gets praise from Luke for what he's done with Jimmy G, but I guess Sean Payton's not a Hall of Famer for having Taysom Hill.
No, of course, yeah, there it is.
Moving on,
Never.
to the next game, the Bengals beat the Titans. You guys predicted it.
Mhm.
OJ predicted it. I feel like, and I said this in the group chat, I feel like my analysis was there, but the Titans just couldn't pull it off in the long run because Ryan Tannehill he threw 3 interceptions. So Jake, if you want to start this one off and kind of give your thoughts on it.
Yeah. Now I want to say that I predicted this to be a shootout. I did not realize that Derrick Henry was not going to be that effective in this game. Now he was still running over people, but you could tell he didn't have his explosiveness that he usually does. So he wasn't the same guy. So I thought the Titans were going to run all over the Bengals. That obviously didn't happen. But no, this was a great game. This was a great game. I think it really showed how dominant it showed the national media how dominant of a defense Tennessee has. Because I think I'll come right out right now and admit it. Like I did not think the Tennessee defense was like as good as I saw on Saturday this weekend. Yeah. Like I did not think they were that good. They were holy shit. That defensive line might be the best in the league. Like it's up there like Washington with the Steelers. Like it is fucking good. San Francisco. Yeah, it's really fucking good. Jeffrey Simmons is a monster. Holy shit. So yeah, I just want to shout out the Titans because they played their hearts out. Ryan Tannehill, tough man. I don't know what's happened. If you're a Tennessee fan, do you kind of like going into the offseason like should we start looking for
100%?
You have to, right? You have to.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
I've been they're saying like maybe draft a guy, like hold off and draft a guy that's kind of a project. And if they're like the caliber that you can start them right away, start them right away. If they're not, just sit them behind Tannehill and wait.
Yeah. And like, I didn't realize that Arthur Smith had a lot to do with Ryan Tannehill's success. Like, so, and listen, if you're the Falcons and you're, taking phone calls from Matt Ryan, maybe you go out and you trade for Ryan Tannehill as kind of that bridge guy. I mean, if you know how much success he's had with Arthur Smith, maybe that's the way you go. But yeah, I can't imagine that since the Titans aren't going the offseason, like being like, okay, how long is this Ryan Tannehill thing really going to last? And that sucks because I do like Ryan Tannehill. Luke picked him to be his MVP. That obviously didn't go well. But yeah, so that's enough of the Titans. Let's get to the Bengals. Who fucking day? I am an honorary Bengals fan for this playoffs. I said it multiple times. Joe Burrow is that guy. I don't care. Joe Burrow is that guy. Evan McPherson, ice in his veins, rookie kicker, like just goes in there. He says to Joe Burrow before he goes out, well, guess we're going to the AFC Championship game. Like, what?
Love it. What? Could you imagine he missed it though? Could you imagine he missed it?
He wasn't going to. Like that. Kickers need to. Any kicker with that type of confidence is not going to miss because kicking is
swing your leg that cleanly with nuts that big.
Yeah. So honestly, he's dragging fucking 80-pound balls behind him while he's kicking one through the uprights. Like it's insane. Like I just the balls on Evan McPherson. Shout out to you to be able to just
shout out your balls, Evan McPherson.
Yeah, dude. Great balls. Anyway,
oh my god.
No, but that's awesome to see that. Just a terrific game by the Bengals. Just a terrific story. This is what the playoffs are all about. You love to see these Cinderella story type of teams, worst to first. And I hope like the Bengals, they should not. And I know I'm calling them a Cinderella story. They shouldn't be viewed that way. Like they should not be viewed that way. Like you look at March Madness over the last couple of years, Loyola Chicago, UCLA, like all these teams, Syracuse a couple of years ago, like all these teams that were thought of as Cinderella stories about their opponents. Oh, they're not going to beat us. Oh, and they fucking beat you. Yeah, because they're a good ass team. So don't sleep on the Bengals. That defense is put on a show against the Titans. That secondary is insane. Eli Apple was making plays. What the fuck? That's when I was just like, what the fuck is going on right now? If Eli Apple's making plays on you. But Joe Burrow played the game like one of the best games of his career. He continues to show up. That entire offense just seems so elevated. It just shows you when you get that franchise guy, when you get that elite guy, how much they can elevate an offense just because of how confident they are in themselves. And that confidence, kind of dilutes through the entire organization. That's what's happening with the Bengals here. So just a great story. I can't wait to see them in the AFC Championship game. And this was a great game. This was a great game to watch.
This was quite literally the opposite of the Packers 49ers game. Quite literally, because the team that wasn't supposed to win lost because of their bad quarterback play. And unfortunately, I picked Ryan Tannehill to be my MVP. Didn't pick Sam Darnold, though. So that's a plus.
It was a hot take segment, people. I want to clarify, put context to it.
No context.
I will say real quick, in the same segment that Luke picked Ryan Tannehill, Jake, you picked Josh Allen. So
thank you. Thank you. Yes, I gave my legitimate MVP pick, and I made that.
I don't know about.
And he looked like an MVP the other night, but we're gonna get into that.
Past 2 games.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot, the MVP the last 2 years have lost in the playoffs, so he might be. Yeah. So Ryan Tannehill, first play of the game, pick. First play of the second half, pick. Play to end the game, pick. Ryan Tannehill is just, he was my Cinderella story. Yeah. He was my Cinderella story. I loved Ryan Tannehill. I loved him being one of the better quarterbacks in the league when he came to Tennessee, led them to the AFC Championship a couple of years ago. Tennessee is cursed. They are cursed at home games, quite literally. Haven't won a home playoff game since 2002. So I don't know what it is about Nissan Stadium, but they just can't win there when it counts. But yeah, I said this on the last episode. I didn't think Derrick Henry was going to be 100%, and I didn't know how he was going to look in this offense. I thought he was going to be a little bit sluggish, and that's exactly what he was. I mean, he's playing with a fucking metal plate in his foot. How can you not be? Deontay Foreman outrushed him on only 4 carries, and that's pretty telling. And Derrick Henry had 20. So, yeah, credit to the Bengals. The Bengals have been outstanding this entire season. Like you said, they're not a Cinderella story anymore. They are one of the best teams in football. And what's crazy is nobody expected this. Nobody had these expectations for them. Everybody I knew had them with less than 6 wins. And look at them now, all the way in the AFC Championship. And you know why? It's because Joe Shiest is that guy. He's that guy. He just has come into the NFL with this winning mentality, this I'm going to beat you at all costs. And he's so calm, cool, collected on and off the field. He just is a winner. And that's exactly what Cincinnati got. Nobody really, I'm not going to say nobody, but a lot of people didn't know if that was going to translate. They didn't know if it was going to be a 1-season wonder at LSU, if he was, especially after his ACL injury last year. But credit Joe Burrow. Joe Mixon was fantastic. I want to give a shout out to AJ Brown because he's definitely solidified himself as a top 7 receiver in my books. That touchdown catch was insane.
Wow.
Yeah, he had 5 for $142 and a touchdown. But yeah, this is, like I said, this was quite literally the opposite of the Packers 49ers game. And all the games, this best divisional round I've ever seen.
Oh,
maybe
100%.
Or some
of the
weekend
football I've seen in I don't know how long.
Yeah. So Bengals, who day? They're all the way. And you know what? I'm fucking picking them over the Chiefs too. I'm
with you.
I'm picking them over the Chiefs. I know I'm probably going to be wrong, but I have nothing. My soul is just gone. My soul was taken from my body last Saturday, and I don't care anymore. I'm gonna bet on my guys. Man. Literally.
Yeah. I just want to say real quick, fuck Eli Apple. Fuck him. I don't know if you guys saw his tirade on Twitter as of the past few days or whatever, but I can't fucking stand the guy. He tweets out, I don't know if I hate the Giants or Saints fans more. Well, maybe you wouldn't hate us if you didn't fucking suck the entire time that you were with us. He had more tweets about us in the past couple of days than he had passes fucking defended in his 2 years.
Yeah, go off.
So, yeah, if you're listening to this on some off chance, kick rocks. I fucking hate you. I'm rooting for the Bengals because obviously Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, those guys are playing out of their minds. I hope the best for them. I hope Eli. Yeah, and I hope that Eli Apple gets fucking smoked. That's all. Just gets worn out in this game against the Chiefs. I hope that Tyreek Hill puts him on his ass.
How do you feel about Von Bell though? Do you want Von Bell to do good?
I love Von Bell.
Okay.
I was hurt when we lost him to the Bengals. I wanted to maintain him. Such a good player.
Yeah.
but yeah, just fuck Eli Apple. As far as the game itself, it went how I was expecting, but the result just wasn't what I was expecting, because I made a video about it. Joe Burrow was sacked 9 times for 68 yards in this game.
Wild.
9 times.
Great point.
Insane. So literally, if it isn't for that secondary, if it isn't for them getting those 3 turnovers off of Ryan Tannehill, they don't win this game. Like, it does not go their way. So that team is really firing on all cylinders. The O-line is tough. The Bengals have a lot of money going into the offseason. I think I talked about it last episode, where they're like, they have the 4th most cap or something like that. That definitely needs to be put into O-linemen, whether it's drafting guys or picking guys up in free agency. If they're able to do that, I don't think the Bengals are going anywhere for a while, as long as they do that. They could legitimately, like, other teams are going to get healthy and stuff like that. The landscape of the NFL could be totally different next year. But if they put money into that O-line and actually build it up and are able to protect Joe Burrow more, I mean, I just can't imagine what this offense will look like then. So I love the Bengals. I want them to win against the Chiefs. It's definitely going to be a rough game. But the Titans, like, yeah, it's hard. It's like, do you move on from Ryan Tannehill? Do you kind of stick with him? Do you blame it on a lot of the injuries you had throughout the season? Then again, you get guys back for the playoffs and it doesn't make a difference. You still make those boneheaded mistakes. He's been like the worst quarterback in the league, throwing 20+ yards downfield as far as efficiency this year.
Which is weird because he's been so good over the past couple of years. But I think he was one of the highest rated deep ball throwers in the league.
We were literally comparing him and Patrick Mahomes' stats over the past couple of years as far as their efficiency and throwing downfield and just the explosiveness of the offense. It's crazy. But yeah, I think personally that they stick with him. We'll see what happens. It could get interesting. But yeah, great win by the Bengals. Tough loss for the Titans as always.
America is all on the Bengals.
Oh,
if you don't have a team to root for, you're either rooting for Matthew Stafford and only Matthew Stafford, or the Bengals, or maybe Odell Beckham Jr. too, and that's it.
Yeah,
I want a Rams-Bengals Super Bowl. Maybe I don't, because then I don't know who to. Because I love Matthew Stafford, and I think Matthew Stafford deserves a Super Bowl. But just, can we take a second to like process the fact that the Bengals could win a Super Bowl right now? Like, they could.
It's crazy.
Like they could win a Super Bowl.
They're in the dance.
That's crazy.
All you have to do is make it. Any given Sunday.
One game. That's it. Super Bowl. Wow.
Yeah. All right. So speaking of the Rams, we're going to go ahead and get into that game. Obviously, they defeat the Buccaneers in what looked like it was going to be the most rigged NFL game of all time, with the direction it was heading. The Buccaneers started coming back. We were all in the group chat getting completely pissed off over this situation. But Matthew Stafford did Matthew Stafford things, hit Cooper Kupp deep on we were talking about Evan McPherson's balls. God, Matt Stafford to throw that deep. And all you got to do is just, work your way down there. And he was like, nah, we're doing it right now.
Yeah.
Coming from a Saints fan who should absolutely hate the Rams, who should loathe them, because I don't even have to say, why.
Yeah.
I just love Matthew Stafford so much. And I've been high on him for so long, even from his time in Detroit, that I want to see this guy succeed. We were talking about you guys and your MVP picks earlier. Matthew Stafford was mine. And I mean, he is playing very well right now, and I'm more than happy to see it. So, Luke, I will go ahead and start with you. You want to give your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, my thoughts are this game would have been so much more enjoyable if my soul wasn't gone from my body. Yeah. First off, I hate Tom Brady. I will let it be known. We're all big Tom Brady hater podcast here. He's
retire.
He's the GOAT. He's not retiring. We know he's not retiring.
He won't go out like that.
He's not going to go out.
No.
Yeah. I mean, what more could you say? I'm so glad the Rams won this. I was beyond happy. I'm a huge Matt Stafford fan. He got dogged every single year in Detroit, and none of it was his fault. None of it. The team was always terrible. And you know what? I had a take earlier in the year that I didn't think Matthew Stafford was a big enough upgrade over Jared Goff for them to make it this far. Oh boy, was I wrong. I was so wrong. I couldn't have been more wrong. I mean, he was beyond perfect. Like when he needed to play at his best, he played at his best. he has been the best fourth quarter quarterback all season long, and he showed exactly why in this game with that deep ball to Cooper Kupp. It was insane. I mean, Cooper Kupp has been ridiculous all season. He had another masterclass. Was it 9 for $183 and a touchdown. And a touchdown. Wow. He now has the most yards by any wide receiver in a season, including postseason, by a solid 200 yards. Like, not enough people are going to be talking. And I'm telling you, like, I don't know what it is about Cooper Kupp. Maybe it's because he's small. Maybe it's because he plays in the slot. Maybe it's because he hasn't had a season like this before. Maybe it's because he's white. I don't know what it is, but people need to start giving him more respect.
He's very sneaky athletic. He's
high motor. That's all those stereotypical terms that you like to throw out there for the white guys. Yeah,
he really is. He's so like ridiculously smart. His football IQ is off the charts.
Oh, yeah.
He knows exactly what to do. He knows exactly when to pivot. He knows exactly when to make a cut, and he reads his defenders so well. It's ridiculous. Cam Akers was trying to sell. He was trying to sell.
Boy, Butterfingers.
Oh my goodness.
My gosh. When he fumbled that ball, holy shit. I wanted to throw something at my TV.
Yeah. I also this isn't really analysis. I want to give a quick fuck you to Ndamukong Suh. I hate Ndamukong Suh with a burning passion, for obvious reasons. Maybe let's not stomp out my fucking quarterback's hurt calf in 2014. Maybe let's not stomp out my O lineman. You're going to complain about kicking?
Barely a kick.
Kicking? I loved all the tweets afterwards.
We talking about practice? Right there.
Kicking. I mean, the whole weekend was about the kickers. I mean, it makes sense, but oh my God, Ndamukong Suh he had that forced fumble, which was great, but I never like to see him succeed. Great win by the Rams. They were the better team. I think we all pick the Rams to beat the Bucs? We all did, right?
I did. Yeah.
All right. We all did, including OJ, which is crazy.
Predicted it to a T.
He was spot on. But as much as I hate Tom Brady, and I know the defense will not get any credit because it's Tom Brady that led them to all those touchdowns because, he forced two fumbles on defense and, after a turnover, he forced the center to throw the ball to snap it 50 yards behind Matthew Stafford. Right.
Yeah.
Because that, Tom Brady just has that effect on people. He's the GOAT. That he did GOAT things. He brought them all the way back. It was quite literally Super Bowl 51 all over again, except the Rams are not the Falcons, and the Rams do not give up big leads. And they did give up big leads, but they ended up winning.
The 49ers.
Yeah, unless they're playing the 49ers, and they are. So we're getting a Jimmy Garoppolo Super Bowl. Oh,
I swear, bro. I can't do it.
Yeah. The one thing I do want to say is like on that point that like it wasn't Tom Brady that forced the fumbles and stuff like that, but like it's just the aura that he brings to your team. Because like when you have Tom Brady, all of us watching the game are like, that's not enough points. Like you need to keep Rams, you need to keep scoring. This is not enough. Like I don't give a shit. What was it? Like 27-3 or something at one point? Just no. Keep scoring. You can't, this is not enough. Like the fact that we have that feeling, the players on the Rams have that feeling too. They're like, no, this isn't enough. It's Tom Brady. You now imagine being on the Bucs team being like, who cares? Like it's all right. All right, we got 3 points. Who cares? We got 12. Like, it's fine. We're not out of this. It's just that feeling that he brings to the team. Like it helps. Like it's not like coincidence that his teams tend to do this and that he's the common denominator in all of those teams.
If you have him on your team, like, that as long as I get a turnover in the red zone for him, he's going to score.
Doesn't even have to be in the red zone. It could be be anywhere. The Bucs, like, kudos to them. I mean, Tom Brady scared the shit out of all of us, and we, like, everybody on Twitter was just like, here we go. Like I was watching Twitter like a hawk throughout this game because it's so funny because everybody was just like the entire game. It was just, that's not enough points. That's not enough. No. I just have a weird feeling about this game. I don't know. It's just, and that's what happened. But no, people need to start respecting Cooper Kupp, like he said. Because it's not a coincidence that he just keeps getting open like this. People are talking about, all right, maybe there was a blown coverage here or there, but Has that been happening all season? Like he's just constantly benefiting from blown coverages, just him?
This is going to sound like a biased Saints fan. It is literally Michael Thomas all over again.
Yeah.
He only runs slants.
Yeah.
Well, he only gets in busted coverages. He only gets in behind the line.
It works.
Fucking stop him. Stop. If you know what he's going to do, stop him. He's like you said, Luke, he's literally out there. Like he knows what he's looking at. He's reading the defense like a quarterback. He's not looking just at the guy in front of him. He's looking at the whole layout of the defense. And he's like, okay, I need to get here and I'll make a play.
Yeah. And
stop him.
Yeah, and Matt Stafford and him have an insane connection. I feel like in 1 year they're already kind of on that Julian Edelman, Tom Brady wavelength where they know like Matt Stafford knows what Cooper Kupp is thinking, like without even saying anything. So that's
really shown like just how important a quarterback and receiver one connection is. We're seeing it with Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. We're seeing it with Cooper Kupp and Matt Stafford. Like it's needed.
Yeah, it's some fantasy football AZ analysis there on Chris Olave. It's that he gets open. Here's his one annual wide open touchdown pass. 50-yard reception.
Chris Olave sucks. No, take it from somebody that's had to watch Chris Olave for a couple of years. Yeah, he does not suck.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately. But yeah, this was a great game. I'm so glad that the Rams pulled it out. When Matt Stafford I love when the camera I can't describe this any more than like how people describe, like I remember watching Randy Moss documentaries, how people would describe like how Randy Moss got the ball. Like when Culpepper or Randall Cunningham, when the camera went to the ball and nobody was on the screen, you knew Randy was open. Like you knew it was going to Randy Moss. That's how it felt in that situation with Cooper Kupp. Matt Stafford, I'm just like, all right, he's going to, dink and dunk his way down the field here. The ball goes in the air and I'm just like, holy shit, he's throwing it deep. No fucking way. It's going like Kupp's open. Kupp is somehow fucking open. And that's exactly what happened. He threw an absolute dime. Kudos to Stafford for doing that. He's had his slip ups in the regular season, so it's not easy. He's never been in this situation before. So to be clutch like that, and then he's running down the field screaming "clock it" like his notorious mic'd up moment with the Lions. It was a whole full circle thing. It was awesome. Just a great way to end the game, and just a great game of football that I thought couldn't be topped. Lo and behold, 3 hours later, I was
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean, I feel like you guys pretty much said it all. I don't need to harp on Rams Buccaneers other than I hope Tom Brady retires. Actually, I do want to say one thing real quick. I tweeted this out yesterday. The absolute like downhill slide that the Buccaneers could have if Brady retires could be wild.
Yeah.
Like just
everybody's gone.
Just thinking about it, like if Tom Brady leaves, there's a good chance Chris Godwin leaves in free agency. Leonard Fournette probably leaves in free agency. Mike Evans is not going to be, he's not going to want to be catching balls from Blaine Gabbert and fucking Kyle Trask, who Bruce Arians said that he was fine keeping around. And like, those would be the quarterbacks if Brady retires. I mean, you've just got so many guys that could just be gone in that situation.
Bruce would probably retire.
And Bruce Arians.
No, that's who I want.
Yeah,
that's who I want to retire is Bruce Arians.
He would either retire or he would stick around long enough for them to be like, okay, dude, we got to get you out of here, and he would get fired.
Yeah,
and
Bruce
then
Arians
the Bucs would be the Bucs all over again.
He's the least likable coach in the league, right? Bruce Arians.
I think Urban Meyer was kind of up there.
Coach in the
league currently. I mean, nobody really likes Belichick, but there's a respect there. Belichick. There's a respect there. Yeah, absolutely.
I don't respect or like Bruce Arians. I think that he's kind of like a snarky asshole that actually hasn't really. I mean, you bring in Tom Brady and then you win some stuff and openly admit that, I'm not really doing anything. I'm just kind of here.
I mean, he won with his time with Payton as well, but
he's done things in his career, but I feel like his head coaching career specifically is kind of overrated.
Yeah. Carson Palmer carried, Peyton Manning carried, Tom Brady carried.
Yeah, of course. I do want to mention one thing before we stop talking about this game. Jalen Ramsey, how do you like Mike Evans burn you?
Yep.
Mike fucking Evans.
That's another thing. I'm glad you brought that up because I feel like Jalen Ramsey for corners is like Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs. Like he plays pretty well. Like he plays decent, but he's not playing fucking cornerback 1 level football. No, he's not. He gets burnt more times than he doesn't in the playoffs. Like in those big moments.
Yeah.
He just is gone. I don't know what happens to him.
Yeah, the stat line, like Mike Evans crushed him in that game. Like Mike Evans won that matchup.
I want to know what was the longest pass or play that Mike Evans has ever had before.
He had a pretty long one in his rookie year. I believe it was against Washington. I don't know how I remember this. I believe it was against Washington. That was a pretty long one that he caught in like the corner of the front.
That had to have been the longest play of his career.
I don't know. Yeah, he's had some long ones though. Like
despite they were Jameis, I mean, 30 for 30. Like he would hit Mike Evans deep.
There's been 3 Mike Evans in the NFL.
I mean, it's a pretty common. I mean, Evans is a pretty common last name. Mike is It's like I'm sure there's been a bunch of Chris Smiths. I think
he had a 72-yarder in 2018.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Mike. Okay.
I feel like I remember that.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe let me stop talking.
Yeah.
But if we're talking about, I mean, hitting guys deep, hitting guys wherever you want, the Bills and the Chiefs.
Oh my God.
A hell of a game. Big shout out Gabe Davis because oh my God.
Yes.
What is going on?
Yep.
Jake, I'll let you go ahead and start this one out.
Dude, I don't think we're worthy of what we just saw. Like this is the we are not worthy. Like insane. That was, I don't care. Just the stakes that were on the line. Now, obviously there's been some great Super Bowls and I hate the Patriots. So that's why I don't count the 28-3 as one of the greatest games of all time, just because I literally did not want them to win that game. Yes, it was a great comeback, but fuck them. Because is it really a great game if one team just stops playing at halftime? Like, is that really like a great game? Because it was just all the Patriots in the second half. You know what I mean? Like, that's not like great football if one team's playing shitty football. Like, it's great football. Both teams are playing great football. That's what it is. So, this was the greatest game of all time, in my opinion. Now, I have not, again, I'm 21. I have not seen every football game of all time. But for my money, this was the greatest football game I have ever seen. I did not think any game could beat that Thursday night football game against the Rams and Chiefs a couple of years ago, where they just went back and forth. This game, Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes are 2 top quarterbacks in the league right now. They just went out on the national stage and they took that right there. Right then and there. These two are so fucking talented. I am so excited about how good their teams are, because they are going to see each other every single postseason pretty much. And it's going to be phenomenal football. They're both young. They both have young teams around them. They really do. And it's, I can't even talk about this game. I can't even describe it. Like just 25 points in under 2 minutes. The fact that it was like, okay, when the Bills scored with under 2 minutes, you're like, fuck, like Bills are going to the AFC Championship game. They're probably going to the Super Bowl. This is awesome. Patrick Mahomes marches down the field, scores. Like, fuck. All right. Just under a minute left.
Seconds.
Yeah, just under a minute left. Josh Allen. By the way, Josh Allen, I got to say, bro, like he played I know Patrick Mahomes played awesome. Josh Allen gave every drip of blood, sweat, and tears to get to the Bills to where they were. They had a 4th and 13, and Josh Allen kept them in the game. Like, just the amount he was running, he was putting the team literally on his back. He was running for first downs. He literally injured a defensive back with how angry he was running in that last quarter. Like, just insane. Josh Allen absolutely put the Bills on his back in this game. So under a minute left, Josh Allen drives down the field and just throws an absolute dime between 2 defenders, 13 seconds left. And you're like, now I'm not going to lie. I did have the feeling like, fuck, that's probably a little too much time. That's like, it's a little too much time with 3 timeouts.
We texted it in the chat.
Yeah.
Gage said, is 13 seconds too much? I said, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
It's just wild. At that point, the Bills defense was gassed, and I don't blame them with like the sequences that were going on.
Yeah.
But just like, I can't say enough good things about this game. The overtime conversation is a whole different conversation. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on the game before we even get into that.
Yeah.
Because I have no words.
Previously, the best game I ever witnessed was Packers Cardinals 2015 divisional round, where Aaron Rodgers had the 4th and 20 in his end zone, and then the Hail Mary. And then Larry Legend just went off pretty much the entire game, but then
great game.
Ended it. That was the previous best game I've ever seen in my life. This topped it by so much. Like it I know a bunch of old heads are going to say, no, well, this game from, 1980.
I don't know. I've seen a couple, like I've talked, like some of my professors, like my professor in my sports marketing class is like is upper 30s. And he's like, no, that was the best game of all time.
I guess
like,
it just all depends. It all depends
Yeah.
on what you like about football, because if you're a defensive guy, this might be the worst game you've ever seen.
True.
It all depends on how you view the game, but fuck that. I'm about touchdowns. I'm about scoring. I'm about actually having fun. And that's why we need to change the overtime rules. And we'll get to that in a sec.
If you're a defensive guy, let's be honest, you don't get invited to parties.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
like
It's boring.
literally you're the guy that hands out pretzels at Halloween. And that's just a simple fact. Yeah, the greatest game I've ever seen. I feel so bad for Josh Allen because he played his heart out, like you said, Jake, and I think he was the better quarterback this night. And I think this was finally this next step for the Bills. Like we've been saying, the AFC East Championship is not the standard anymore. They are surpassed that. They've shown that they are the top dogs now. The Patriots era is over. I mean, for at least right now.
For the time being.
Yeah, for the time being. And I have to say this. The top 3 quarterbacks in the league now go Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers. There's no doubt in my mind. You can't look at that game and look at last week's game against the Patriots and tell me that Josh Allen is not a top 3 quarterback in the league. Just what he's able to do with his wicked arm, his ability to throw on the run, just throw on the sidelines too, just perfect touchdown passes, and his ability to run power options as a fucking quarterback and hurdle and juke players. Like he's the perfect package. He's so built for Buffalo with his big stature. I pray that he never gets injured because I want to watch this guy play every single week. But yeah, the Chiefs get it done. Patrick Mahomes is just another animal. We've never seen anything like him. And he's probably, I argued this you could look on our Instagram for the take, but I think he's solidified himself as not even just top 20 quarterback. I think possibly top 10 quarterback all time. He already has the resume. He has it all, and he's only going to get better. I think just longevity we need to see that first. But I mean, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, they're both some of the best ever to play their positions. Tyreek Hill might be the biggest game changer in NFL history. So he could just flip the switch in a second. But credit to the Chiefs. This is a dynasty that we're living in. And I think, it's going to be until Andy Reid maybe leaves. I don't know. As long as Patrick Mahomes there, they're always going to have a chance.
Speaking of, like, I want to give Andy Reid some major props right now. Like, he's regarded as one of the best coaches in the league. We know that. And I don't think he's all time. Yeah. And I don't think that he's like taking Bill Belichick's spot or anything by any means, but like this guy, he can coach. He can coach. I think that I saw a stat the other day. He took the Eagles to 4 straight championships or something like that. And now he's taken the Chiefs to 4 straight. Like, that's just unreal. It doesn't matter what team he's coaching. He's going to do big things with them. And that says a lot about the coaching.
Bring him to Green Bay. Bring him to Green Bay.
He's not leaving.
He's not
leaving. Bring him to Green Bay.
I think he's with the Chiefs for the rest of his career, to be honest. But yeah, this was an awesome game. Like you guys said, I can't recall a game that I've seen that was better outside of like Saints games, but there's bias that goes along with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Josh Allen, for every bad take I have, I just will always come back to my Josh Allen will improve take that I said before the beginning of last season. I was like, he's going to play like an MVP level quarterback this year. And I mean, he can do whatever he wants. Like you were saying, Luke, like he can literally, he can sidearm balls. He can get it wherever he wants because he's got the arm power. He can run the options. He can straight up run a guy over and injure him. I think that Josh Allen is what Panthers fans wanted Cam Newton to be.
I agree.
Pretty much. Like,
yeah, I agree.
And you could pretty much argue that like Josh Allen's had just as long of a prime at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, so, honestly, probably.
You could say that like Cam Newton's peak maybe was a little bit higher just because of like his rushing and stuff like that MVP season and everything. But yeah, this game was amazing. Both teams are amazing. I look forward to seeing this matchup over and over again, and hopefully it'll become more of a rivalry, and the Bills will be able to get some wins under their belt. But I mean, the Bills are going to be great going forward. The Chiefs are going to be great going forward, and this is the new Rodgers versus Manning, in my opinion. It really is.
Manning versus Brady.
Yeah.
Or yeah. Sorry, Rodgers in the brain. We've been talking about it.
I do want to just say
Aaron Rodgers versus Eli Manning. This is it. This is the new one.
Oh, kill me. I do want to say real quick. I know probably a lot of people won't agree with this, but since like these old era, I'll say quarterbacks, Big Ben, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, we don't even know if they're going to be playing next year. We definitely know about one of them. He's not going to be playing, but the other two, we have no clue. I sort of say in the way that they play, I think Joe Burrow is looking like the next Tom Brady. I think Patrick Mahomes, and this is in terms of their play, not in terms of their winning or whatever. I think Patrick Mahomes is the next iteration of Aaron Rodgers, and I think Josh Allen is the next iteration of Big Ben Roethlisberger. I've been saying this. I think just in terms of the way that they play and how the game is evolving, I think those are pretty comparable things.
And Justin Herbert is Peyton Manning.
Yeah. I know. And then we're going to get the typical, just let them be themselves. It's like, all right. Yeah. The fans have a tendency. All right. We're going to have some fun here. Like, so now we're not saying they aren't themselves.
They're paving their own way. They're their own people.
I know.
Our point is that they're all great quarterbacks, and we think that they're going to stick around for quite a while. And really, I mean, I tweeted about this the other day too. We are ushering in a new era of football. Like we're watching a lot of the guys that we grew up with retire at this point, and we're watching a lot of new guys that have been drafted just in the past couple of years start to light it up, and it's awesome. I think that this new era of football is going to be fantastic.
Yeah, and like I just want to ask you guys, like, I think they claim the spot. Like Aaron Rodgers was always in the mix of top 5 still. Like it was always like, okay, Patrick Mahomes was at this point is pretty much a unanimous number 1 quarterback in the league.
Yeah.
But like number 2 was always like, oh, do you give it A-Rod? Josh Allen really hasn't been there yet. You know, I think it's like, no, like done.
I think it's Josh Allen.
It's Patty Mahomes, it's Josh Allen, like those two. And it's like, honestly, Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert have put themselves in the top 5 for me, in my opinion, right now. Also, I like about that, Joe Burrow, maybe not, but Justin Herbert, I think, has done enough, has showed enough that I think he is probably in the top 5. Whether that's
just
5
because
or
of
not.
the skill set that Herbert has, despite like what he's dealt with. I mean, he's had 2 head coaches already. He's got a horrible defense and the things that he's been able to do with that team. Yeah, I mean, he's one of those guys like Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes that he can do damn near whatever he wants.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Listen, if either Joe Burrow or Matthew Stafford wins the Super Bowl, everybody's top 10 list is going to be shaken.
Oh,
everybody's.
Yeah.
There's so much talent at the quarterback position. I've never seen it. I don't think this has ever happened in NFL history.
Yeah.
Every single team, maybe aside from like a few, would have their quarterback for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
Not just guys like moving up either, but like some guys moving down too. Like after that performance in the playoffs and like the latter half of the season, I am not super confident in Kyler Murray. I think that he's a talented player, but it's like, I mean, where do you put him now with all these guys playing the way that they're playing?
Russell Wilson, honestly, another one. I'd still have him in my top 6.
Watch him
out. Listen, I have him in my top 6, but I see a lot of people like out of the top 10 just because he's had an injured season.
It's just because people forgot that, because now that Russell Wilson didn't have a good team, and by the way, he's in the hardest division in football. I hope we've seen that at this point, because like both teams are in the NFC Championship game. Like Russell Wilson has not missed a step. I'll just say that he was just rusty getting back from injury and
rusty.
He was rusty. Yeah,
he was a few seasons. I mean, I still put him over Tom Brady.
Yeah. Absolutely.
He's had,
that was
significantly better passer ratings and stuff like that. Like, he's still a great player.
Well, we've seen this year or the end of last year from Russell Wilson. That was Russell Wilson playing. That wasn't Mr. Unlimited playing.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Exactly.
Mr. Unlimited's getting it done.
Oh no, that. Yeah. Russ is. Yeah. When he goes to Mr. Unlimited, like it's like goodbye. Like it's goodbye. But then again, like I feel like Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, like, if you could build a quarterback, be like the perfect quarterback you could build, like, I feel like you build Josh Allen. Like if you're on Madden, you're like, I want a guy that can truck people with 99 speed and can also throw an 80-yard bomb on the dime. Like that. That's Josh Allen. Like that's who that is. And it's insane. Like Patrick Mahomes can't really, the only thing Patrick Mahomes doesn't have is that he can't truck people. That's literally it.
Or hurdle.
Other than that, they're hand in hand. Yeah.
He could do it all. He could do all 3. Josh Allen could truck, he could hurdle, and he could juke.
I think Patrick Mahomes could juke a little bit. I think Patrick Mahomes is he's got a little speed.
Josh Allen was breaking ankles though.
No, he is.
Josh Allen was breaking ankles.
Yeah. No, this is the most exciting era. I am so excited for this era of football. Like really like all three of our teams might be crumbling to the ground, but like we are all so excited for this. Like that should just tell you how exciting this next like era of football, because we've done it. We've like everybody's been talking about this transition of like, and this is it. Like this is the transition from our childhood into like the new era. And honestly, I am so, it's not a nostalgic thing. I'm excited as hell. Like this is going to be some fun, awesome 100%. Football.
All right. And then we talked about the Bills Chiefs game, obviously crazy game that goes into overtime, and it's got a lot of people, a lot of people. You haven't been able to escape this talk as of lately, the past couple of days, talking about overtime rules, because Josh Allen, despite being on fire, never even got to touch the ball to give his team a chance. And obviously the Bills defense does not do anything to help them out. So Luke, I'm going to go ahead and start with you, and kind of you give your thoughts on this and maybe how we fix this.
Overtime rules have to change. If you don't think so, I don't know what's wrong with you. You just love not having fun. You hate everything. Each team needs to touch the ball. I've been saying this since 2015, and Jake knows exactly why. Each quarterback needs to have the opportunity. You cannot have the game be decided off of a coin toss, and people are gonna be like, oh, play better defense. That's not the point. The point is it just makes the game better. Just makes the game better. It makes it more fun. And that's why we're adding 2 more games eventually to the NFL season, because we want more football. And we're going to be complaining that, oh man, an extra, 10 minutes is going to kill everybody. No. Here's what I would do. I would have whoever wins the coin toss gets the ball first. Obviously you're going to take it. But if they score a touchdown on their first drive, the next team or the opposing team gets the ball back. They either have to score in the same amount of plays as the first team scored a touchdown, or the same amount of time it took for them to score a touchdown. Either one, you could pick either one. I'm not saying have both in the game. I'm saying whichever one is better for the game. Which personally, I think it'd probably be a time thing. I feel like you have to do it in a certain amount of time. That's just what I think. I feel like that would help the game immensely, because both teams have a chance at it. And you knew exactly when the Chiefs won that coin toss, they were going to win, because both defenses were gassed and both defenses were giving up so many yards.
And
both quarterbacks were hot
during the game too.
Yeah.
I was like, whoever wins this coin toss, that's who's winning the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And it felt that way. This is a tough argument because I see both sides. Luke, I would just kind of be worried about the logistics of that. Like, how would that, I don't know, that seems like a very intricate way to do overtime, but like it sounds fun. Like that sounds awesome, but I don't know how the logistics of that will work out. My thing is like, now obviously I put a joke on TikTok, and that's doing, like, if you watch that video,
no long snapper board games.
No, I know. Yeah, that's me letting my imagination run wild. No, but that was a joke. But I'm just going simple here. It's just like another 10 minutes. Put 10 minutes on the clock and run out the quarter. That's it. Like just play another period of football. That's it. Like you got 10 minutes. Other team scores. All right. What'd that take them to score? Like 4 minutes. All right. You got 6 minutes left in the period. Bills, get the ball back. Go. Like whoever's leading at the end of this game, you're probably going to win the game. And that gives, and another thing, That's fair. Gives the other, like the team that gets the ball second, it's still going to be exciting football. Cause guess what? They're knowing like, okay, we could either tie this game or we can go for the 2-point conversion and we can win this game. So, and that makes it more exciting. I think it's just a simple fix like that. Just something that simple. Just be like, instead of first touchdown, just play out the 10 minutes. That's it. Like, and I think that there does need to be, the whole thing with this is it's about the networks, and the networks do not, like in the regular season, they don't want the games leaking too much into their, next programs. That's the big thing about overtime. So I think this would just have to be a playoff rule. Like the NHL kind of does something like this, where the playoff rules are different than the regular season rules.
Well, also players, I don't think the PA would want to do that either, because that gives them more time to possibly get injured. And I don't know.
But the whole injury,
I think,
it's 5 more minutes. It's 5 more minutes of football.
And
you want the ball back. Yeah.
You're trying to make it to the Super Bowl. Or are you going to complain about?
No, I think playoffs is fine. I think.
I would just say playoffs
regular
only.
season.
This is a playoffs overtime fix only. That's it. because when the game comes down to it, you don't want it to be like, oh, well, like, did this team, did they really give it all they got? And then like, if you're just playing out the period, then if the first team scores and they know the second team could go for a 2-point conversion, then they're like, shit, do we go for the 2-point conversion? So they can't beat us here. It'll play itself. It'll work itself out with the excitement, I think, with just a simple fix like that. So that's my take on it. I think just play out the 10 minutes.
I agree with what Luke said completely, as far as like, if you don't think that the rules need to be changed, you don't, 100%. you hate fun.
Yeah.
Because I think that the biggest thing is I don't think that the current rules are like completely broken. And I said this on my TikTok. I was like, I'm not of the thought that like this needs to be changed because it doesn't work.
Yeah.
I think that it needs to be changed for the health of the game and just the betterment of football as a whole, because it could be better than what it is right now.
Yes.
Now, with that being said, I'm about to throw something out that's a little bit out there that I also posted on TikTok, and it's not that elaborate thing that I sent you guys that are like legitimate changes to the rules. Just have a kicker shootout. Start them at like extra point range. Have both kickers kick, and if they make it, move them back like 5 yards. For each one or each mark that they both hit it. Keep moving them back. And then eventually when one of them hits it and one of them doesn't, that team wins the game. I mean, they do like penalty kicks and stuff like that in soccer. You know what I mean? Usually that's after like a period of overtime or whatever. But if they just jump straight to that, I don't think it would last a long time. And I think that it puts your special teams, it brings some light to special teams, and you value your kicker a lot more in those situations.
The only thing I would say to that, Gage, is if you're changing the overtime rule for the betterment of the game and for like fan service, I don't know necessarily if fans want to see kickers more involved in the game. Yeah.
But that would be fun as hell, though. I'm not going to
I think it would be fun. The football fan in me thinks it would be outstanding, but like the average viewer,
least, I think that they should do something like that in the Pro Bowl. Just throwing that out there.
No, that's true.
They need to change the Pro Bowl completely. That's a whole nother story.
Pro Bowl.
I haven't watched that shit since, I don't even know. It's 5 years at least.
There was a decent one in 2014. Odell's rookie season. That was like when they were still drafting.
That was the Jordy Nelson, Clay Matthews.
Yeah, that one was actually like had a lot of fun moments. That was pretty good. But other than that, they've all sucked.
That might have been the last Pro Bowl that Aaron Rodgers ever played. I don't know. I have no clue.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I think that is going to wrap it up for us. Obviously, you guys have been doing a great job supporting us as of recently. The downloads have been off the charts. The YouTube has been off the charts. Everything has been fantastic. We've been gaining a bunch of followers on Spotify. So if you guys could keep that,
shout out. Shout out 30 new followers on Spotify over the last couple of days. Cannot thank you guys enough for that.
Insane. We appreciate it more than you guys know. So, keep doing what you're doing. Spread it. Be like, hey, buddy, I know that you like sports. Check out this podcast. Or, hey, teacher that we've talked about multiple times, show them the podcast.
Or hey, cool uncle.
Yeah, cool uncle.
Cool uncle that's trying to get you to do some weird things. Maybe, maybe report that weird uncle, but also like tell him about.
But also show him the podcast first.
Yeah.
Maybe he won't want to do those weird things anymore because he'll be so enthralled by us. This is getting to
by weird things we mean rooting for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
That's what we meant the whole time. Not liking feet or anything 100%. Like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
no, definitely not feet. We've never ever talked about feet.
You guys brought up the feet last time. Don't act like this is me.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never talked about feet in my life.
Oh, we have a clip. We got the receipts, bud. Don't even go there. Don't even try.
All right. So thank you guys so much for listening. And if you guys have anything to add real quick, you can go ahead and do so.
Yeah. If you guys, so we were just talking about overtime. I got the overtime sweatshirt on. Let's talk about another overtime. The overtime app, guys. It's the best app on the App Store. At me if you want. It's great. We do a bunch of giveaways with them. They've been doing, giveaways until the Super Bowl. We do a fantasy pool every week. You pick 6 players, you play some fantasy football for completely free, and you have the ability to win some awesome prizes. It's been AirPods, $100 Visa gift card. It's been just a bunch of cool stuff. I think it's $100 Dick's gift card this week, I believe. I believe, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so $100 Dick's gift card this week, and it's free. Like, you literally just download the awesome overtime app and just play some fantasy football. And you have the opportunity to win this free shit. We do it every week. So make sure to download the link, download the app, using the link in our bios. You don't even have to use that link if you don't want to support the podcast. We just want you to have the app. Because it really is awesome. So participate in those, be on the lookout for those. It's an awesome app overall.
Yeah, and make sure to follow us on all of our social medias. I'm, of course, Football Fan Zone. Jake is Jake Maltese 3. Gage is Extra Points, as well as all of our Totally Unqualified accounts. We got Twitter, we got TikTok, we got YouTube, we got it all. You name it, we got it. And just a special shout out to Brian Gutekunst. Don't listen to every single Packers fan. Do the right thing. You got to cut ties with Aaron. Rip the Band-Aid off. I know Brian's watching too. I know he's watching in his free time. So
we have been getting some listeners from Green Bay, Wisconsin. So maybe maybe it's Brian Good. Maybe it's Matt LaFleur. Maybe it's Aaron Rodgers. Maybe Aaron Rodgers listening to our podcast. It's possible.
They're the new followers.
Yes, it could be. It's the entire Green Bay Packers. Maybe that's what they were doing instead.
Rodgers looked totally unqualified to be on the field.
That's how we got to end it. Name drop right there.
All right. We will see you guys in the next one. Thank you again so much for listening.
Hoo day.